Alright guys, I actually we just missed out on this trade. It moved so fast. So I just wanted to show you guys real quick on the ES what we did here. Um, and made a really nice profit off of that. So overnight we saw more weakness in the market, and to give you some more context, we've been kind of selling off, as you can see. We tried to rally the other day and then came back down, and then overnight just broke all these support zones on the way down. So what we're looking at is this resistance area here, and really this price at the 63.5, just because we did try to come up there pre-market, failed, and then when we opened up, we actually started to move up. As you can see on the tick started slowly moving up to the zero line, and right when it peaked is where I took that short. You can see right here. That short was right here, right at the 64.75, right where that tick peaked, and it actually dropped right below here, right that 63.50 line that we have here, and then came back and retested. So if you didn't short here, after it came back and closed below this line, right, which was that peak, that high pre-market that we're looking at shorting, it actually came back up, retested it, and that would have been a valid short right there. And then literally within 5, 10, or 1, 2, 3 minutes, it dropped all the way back down to my target, which was down at the 57.75. Just because we did try to attempt to break down below here, and then we rallied above it, and then closed above here, but then ended up closing below a minute later. So I was willing to take that short there with stops right above in the resistance area. And then now we're just kind of balancing, right? But really, if this thing starts to break again from here, and I didn't exit out all my positions so quickly, the next areas really to look at is the next support zone here. And if it does come down to the 2050, there is a chance that this thing will accelerate through, and here I'll show you why. So sentiment in the market is still negative. You can see the tick is still below zero and showing extreme negative ticks to the downside. This last one was another extreme tick as it got me out of my trade. All right. Let me go to like an hour. And you can see that the advanced decline, it dropped, right, as this was going up. So if advanced decline is dropping and ticks going up, that just means that you got to look for a short opportunity. And as it came up, it was right there, and we shorted it. And now now the tick came back down, got exited out of that position, and look at what the advanced decline is also doing. Is now it's declining back down again. So that's a good sign for anybody that's shorting the market. Anyway, let's look at the 2050 right there. Really not a whole lot of support in this area that we just broke through. And if I were to zoom out a little further, let's go about a month. All right. Maybe we need to go further than that. We'll do 90-day, 4 hours. Okay. If I zoom in really quickly right here, okay, within the last 90 days, and this is actually back in June, July time frame, you can see right here where we're at, right? It came down and bounced here as well, but came down to the 2050s and accelerated that day. Well, if we come down to 2050s again and we break this level, you can see right here, price just kind of swooped right through these levels, right? Never really stopped. I mean, it bounced here, but kind of came up, then came back down again, went through it, went down again, went through it. So it just chopped right through here. So when it finally did break up, it came back down and retested that 51.50 area right here, just like it did back here when it first initially started to bounce, and then it started to take off, right? And we came down to this level here, which we just broke overnight, okay, that 2057, and then we broke it again here, and now we're back at it again. So if we come back down to this level anyone that bought at this price area will probably be getting their stops hit, and that could lead to a potential additional short all the way back down to I would say the 30-35 area right here, where you see this the low within the last 90 days. If I zoom out, right, last 90 days, here's the lows right here. So that has a potential for this thing to move down to that level, and then we can maybe see a bounce. But at that point, we're really gonna have to check the market, because we might be looking at further downside from there if we start breaking these support levels, right? Because if you can kind of see, we got a lot of support in this area, and it's just, you know, overall it's just kind of ranging up and down within this area. But if there's any firm break to the downside, we could show a lot of weakness. And not only that, you know, you guys have been watching me trade oil, and I just got out of this position earlier on oil. I mean, oil and gold, but on gold, I mean. And look at what gold's been doing recently. It's just been moving up. After it hit some lows, right, back last month, and then July we had the sharp down move, right, and now we're right back up there again, okay, and we're not stopping, it looks like. And oil is dropping, oil is going down, gold is going up, and now you're starting to see weakness in the stock market. So just kind of be wary of that. That could be potential signs for this thing to drop even further. And if the stock market starts to go down, gold, precious metals, you're going to see a lot of upside in gold. Okay? So just something to think about there. I wish I had enough time to have made a video off of this trade right here, but it happened very quickly. The first couple of minutes of opening market, if you have a trade, it works great, and it works really fast. So that's one thing I do love about the open market during the US hours on the ES. And I'll be done for the day. So I did a gold trade and a trade on the Emini. Hopefully you guys learned a little bit more. This is a little bit different of a trade setup, and I guess trade plan compared to how I trade gold and oil. But I have these internals to give me more accuracy, and you can see that how accurate I was able to be when I got in this trade, right? Because the bias was to short, but where do you short? Well, you let the market kind of figure it out for you. Moved down, moved up. The whole time the tick is moving up, right? Tick is moving up, moving up, moving up, right? Price is moving up, moving up, moving up. You see this resistance here and here, breaks above this resistance. You could have shorted because we were so close to here and this tick hit the zero, or wait for this to come down like it did here, come back, retest it, and have an order right there at the 2063, because we're still maintaining that zero line, right? We broke it initially just slightly, which doesn't mean there's a positive, movement, but we stayed under here, and you can see that advanced decline also started to go sideways, and at that point it finally just dropped really hard. I was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.5, 5.25 points within about 3 minutes. So, and every point on the ES now is a little bit different than gold and oil. So the ES, you have $12.50. So for every point is 4 ticks on the ES, and every tick you would get about $50. Okay, so that was a 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, a little bit over $250 move within 3 minutes right there off of one contract. Okay, and that just kind of gives you the idea and potential for making money on the ES as well. Now we're holding below this level right here, which was another area that we were looking at as a support. Okay, so we kind of been chopping up and down. If this thing does come down, excuse me, and hold, I would look for this thing to possibly retest it, right? And then we can short here, just like we did over here. Okay, but right now it's just kind of chopping up and down, up and down. But remember, the advanced decline is still showing weakness. So, you know, technically we could have taken this short here as it came back up into this level, all the way back down here. So I would just look for another opportunity to short it if it does come down and come back up into these levels. Just make sure that you would have to look at the tick, and as long as it's holding under 0, if it does spike up to 0 again after a pull back down and then comes back up into this level, right? Because now this is kind of like the bottom, right? If it breaks below it, comes back up, this is a resistance now that has just formed, and then you can short it if this tick moves up and hits that 0 line and everything else is moving down. Okay, as long as we don't see any divergence, this thing could keep pushing down into these levels very easily. Alright, with that, I'll go ahead and close out this video. Hope you guys learned a lot. Keep trading, keep learning the patterns, and hope you guys make lots of money in the market. Alright, that's it for me, and good night, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow for our last day of trading this week on Friday expiration. Alright.